What's happening, chess fans? Welcome to Net Chess and Chill. Today is episode number 39 on my journey to 1200 ELO. And I guess without further ado, let's get into today's game. So, get some music on, and here we go. Here we go! Let's see who we're going to play today. I'm so excited. Happy Friday. It is Friday here in lovely old Virginia. Alright, so looks like we're about to get a Carl Khan playing PK T08. He is from India. Alright, so a lot of times this is an exchange. Pretty typical. So here I like to just bring my knight out. This pin happens often. Not too worried about it, but I think I should develop my knight first. I think this knight is also a valid move. Yeah, so not too worried about that. If I give this check, he can just bring the knight out, so that'll defend the bishop, and it will kind of serve as not a move that I cared to play really, but I like to pin their knight in return. Okay, so when this happens, I typically take the knight. I don't know if that's the best move or not, but it's what I do. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to play pawn to e6. So I need to start developing on my king side. A lot of times what I notice happens is the queen moves here, and then I feel kind of trapped with my bishop, but I think that I can just maybe even okay, so he's allowing me to definitely do what I was hoping to do. So I'm going to just develop my bishop even just to e7 and castle. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna castle. If the queen moves here, I'll probably slide my king over. Okay, so this is just a free pawn. I've finished developing. I'm castled. This pin is no longer a thing. I'm going to take the pawn and attack the bishop and the queen at the same time. And that's a valid way to deal with it. It defends this. Keeps an eye on that. Do I have anything better? I mean, it was defended already. I don't know necessarily what this is doing, but I'm going to take the bishop. I lost my light squared bishop, and he lost his as well. So now this pawn is under attack. I can't move my queen there, excuse me. This bishop is definitely seeing that. I can push the pawn. I don't know if I really want to do that, but I could push the pawn. I could also, can't do that, like I said, but I could move my queen here or here. I could also do a move like rook to b8. I don't think that's that great of a move either. I actually can only play this move because my knight defends, right? Like, so I would assume a queen trade at that point. I think for now I'm just going to actually protect the pawn like this. And, yeah. I can even play a6 maybe on the next move to kick the queen about a bit. This pawn is defended by my queen, and it also gives my bishop a cool little post to sit on if he wants to. So he moves his knight over to there. I think I'm gonna kick the queen about a bit. See where the queen wants to go. Alright, so the queen moves back. I have a move like this attacking the bishop. I also could just plop my bishop here. I don't think I really want to do that. I could push the pawn. I can't play rook to c8 as of yet because this pawn would hang, and I don't really want that. So I'm thinking about just pushing the pawn to b5. That being said, I'm not really thinking about what my opponent wants out of this. He's rerouting the knight. So I'm not really sure what his plan is. Maybe he doesn't want me to come here. Maybe he wants this to be a defensive piece. I don't really know. But regardless, I'm going to put some pressure over here, I think. And, okay, so he pushes the pawn. Fair enough. I can go for a trade of these bishops if I want to. He could drop down here to try and pin the knight again, but I don't think that that is 100% going to make his life that much better. Maybe it is. I could take, but then his queen takes, and I'm not really a huge fan of that. So I think we'll do this. I'm thinking about trying to double up my rooks. Kicking the bishop might not be a terrible idea. Though if he takes, I do get this ugly pawn structure. But I think I am going to kick the bishop. Again, if he takes, I mean, I guess I do take back, but pretty ugly pawn structure. I think we get the trade we wanted, which is nice. And I can probably bring my rook in. I don't know what they're doubling up on that file for necessarily, but maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. Let's see. So I'm running out of ideas as to what I want to do in this position. I want to push these pawns, but I don't know exactly if that's the best thing to be doing. I'm gonna bring this rook up here and maybe try and double up on the semi-open file that I have. He could actually just kick me out. I'll just back up, I guess. And I think that'll give me an opportunity to maybe exploit weaknesses in my opponent's position. Perhaps. I could even, I mean, I see this move now, so I can definitely just drop back, which I don't think would be the worst thing in the world. Could drop back to here. I think I will just drop back. I'm having kind of trouble seeing like a plan right now, so this is kind of like my issue when I play chess often is just a lack of an idea of what I should be doing. I feel like we're pretty solid here, but I'm not seeing any tactics for me or like anything that I'm supposed to be doing to like I don't know, consolidate. Like, in my opinion, like, now that gave me the opportunity to play a move like this, which I'm going to take advantage of. I'm gonna take the knight for sure. And then I'm gonna take this pawn, attacking the queen. And then I can take this pawn as well. So we're up 2 pawns right now. We have tempo on the queen. Am I missing something? I gotta be missing something, right? What is going on? The queen is still under attack, and he just gave me a rook. I don't see what my opponent was doing there. I have another pawn hanging, but in this position I can actually just do this. Okay. So my opponent is going for this check. I can pin the rook, so if my opponent gives this check, I can just take the queen. I'm gonna take. I can't take that pawn now. I can do it like this though. Hold on. Do I have something better? I'm gonna do this. He can defend. Okay, so my opponent wants that. I'm gonna take with the rook. I'm gonna come. Is check a good move? Check, king moves here. Can't take the pawn. I can threaten the queen like this. Queen can come here. Queen's got a lot of moves. We got to find a way to like finish the game. So I want to push the pawns to make this pretty decisive, I think. Yeah, so not too worried about that. I can take the pawn here, and that still defends this pawn. I think I will do that. He can give a check. I'm just gonna hide over here. And now I think this is gonna be more decisive. So I'm threatening this, and then this. Or just this, and this. Yeah, I think queen first, and then the rook. And that should be a checkmate. We'll see what my opponent does. So I could play that. He could take the pawn. He could give me a check. He can give me a check right now, actually, if he wants to. I think I'll just walk this way. Give me a check like that. This one allows him to get here, but if he gives this check and I move here, I don't know, say he... I actually don't know what my opponent should play, so I'm gonna stop calculating and kind of wait till he decides what he's gonna play, because I think my plan is pretty simple here, is to even sacrifice this pawn, you know, for queen to come here and rook to come here, and I think that's pretty decisively a checkmate. Could also do it like that. I don't think that's as good. Something like this. The king moves here is why I can't do the queen second. So he abandoned the game. It kind of felt like that. I don't know why he kind of gave me a rook. This is the highest rating I have ever been. So I'm rated 1019. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Super cool. Yeah, I felt bad. We played 88.8% accuracy. He played 80.8. We had 0 inaccuracies, mistakes, misses, or blunders. It's pretty cool. It's kind of weird that it says that even though you had 0 inaccuracies, mistakes, misses, or blunders, that I still didn't get like in the 90s. It's because I had so many good moves, maybe. Yeah, I had 8 good moves, you know, which is just the check mark move, right? So we'll look into that. We'll see what. So book move here, right? They go for the pin all the time. It's not even the best move. The best move for them is actually just to play c4, and I'm pretty sure I knew that. But when they play c4, I'm still good, right? Like my queen sees this, but I think that it is usually indicative of them bringing their queen out, and if I do the same, they end up pushing this pawn, and if I take, it ends up giving them kind of a decent pawn structure. Sometimes, even in the London I play, I bring the knight to d2 to kind of prepare the queen move over there as well, because I still do this, but I don't actually open up the rook file. I feel like it keeps my pawns a little more solid, because I open up this file sometimes and I don't use it, which I think is a mistake, but I don't know enough about chess, I guess, sometimes to utilize it. Sometimes I do, but other positions not as much. So anyways, that was a little tangent. They went for the pin, I go for the pin. This was definitely not the best move, and I know that for a fact. I think getting the knight out is actually a better move, or just closing up the pawn structure is what the computer likes. But I also think that getting knight to f6 is not bad here or anything, and even a move like a6 to just say do it, like, you know, if they back up, you know, you play a6 and they back up, right, you just play b5, and then the bishop is got eyes on this, but you can actually just start, you can get the knight out right then, which is something I like to do, or you can get the bishop out to g4 still and go for your pin. The bishop can also land on f5, which is a good square, but this was a little inaccurate of me. Taking has to happen here. I then defend my pawn structure, which is still not the best move. Going for this check actually is, I guess, see, the thing that I'm confused about is why I would want to do this, because it's basically asking the knight to come out, but there must be like some follow-up then playing it, so it's just smoother to for some reason to put my queen all the way over there. I don't know. I mean, I saw the move in the game, but I didn't think it was maybe that great of a move. So here, kicking the bishop out first is a little more accurate, and we're fine taking with the b pawn. I guess maybe part of it is to set up, like if we did go for the check and they bring their knight out, part of it is to set up a6, and so that way we're kind of like saying, hey, just take the knight. Maybe it just makes him feel more that way. I don't know. I still don't get the queen move very much. They bring the bishop to a dark square in the center of the board on f4. I just castled. Not the best way to go about things, but it was what I did. What was the best move for my... So it really likes my queen here. Now I can actually just take with the queen. We can build up pressure on this file, the open C file, semi-open C file. So I castled here. Also not the best move. The best move is still, it wants this queen move, but again, just it's a good move. Nothing wrong with it. I saw the pawn in the center of the board. I was like, man, I mean, you just gonna let me have the pawn, huh? And so he gave it to me. He slides the queen over, which is the best move. I took the bishop because I just think it is the best move. I think them taking with the knight is a smoother way to go about what they were trying to do, because I kind of just got the ability to kick the queen about a little bit. They moved their knight over to g3. I thought this was kind of a weird move. I didn't really know what it was trying to do, but maybe stop my knight coming here. I don't know. Not 100% sure. I wasn't going to open up this at all. Caro-Kann, we have solid pawns. Like, Caro-Kann is solid. I was running out of ideas here, right? Like, I knew bring the rook over to the file. He played that. I'm like, all right. I mean, I can trade the bishop. I can bring the rook up here to put pressure on the bishop. That might have been a great move. I didn't actually see that. Let's see what the computer says. I brought the bishop up. Not the best move. The best move is to actually bring the rook over on this file. So maybe there was some tactics on this file. I didn't really notice what they would be, but I went for the bishop trade. He played that. I was like, all right, I backed my bishop up. Definitely not what I needed to do. I could just kick the bishop out and get my queen over here. That is super fine. Nothing wrong with it. Don't know why I didn't play it. It also gets my queen off the file and connects my rooks. So if he wanted to back up, I could probably, the computer probably even likes g5 to trap the bishop, right? So he can't just do that, right? He's going to have to go here, and then, well, he can't go here now either, right? You just took that away from him. So he's going to need to back up to one of these 3 squares. So, yeah, my bishop staying here would have been a fantastic move. Should not have backed it up. Anyways, we ended up like this. He kind of forced the trade. He didn't want to move his bishop yet again, so, or just leave the tension, which he could have done that as well. So queen move over here. I saw this move. I didn't think it was so great, but I guess the idea is maybe to get up here and maybe put some pressure this way, and also you're keeping pressure on this pawn. I went for this. He pushed the pawn, which I'm like, I could just back up. Crazy that that's the best move. Rook to c6 is actually the best move. The reason I played it is because it defends this, and it also, I mean, it's right next to my queen. I can now, like, I don't know. I felt comfortable here, right? I was like, you can't do anything. Everything's defended. Everything. And he pushed the pawn. Now this is weak. And I'm like, all right, we got a problem. Or you got a problem, not me. But I was like, I could have just played this again, right? And this would have been a beautiful move as well. Like, you know, I mean, I'm fine, but the cool thing about this move is, unlike this, I have this awesome file across the board, which is nice. The reason I didn't like this move was he maybe plays something like that. I guess it's not a huge deal. I just didn't really feel like trading. Oh, excuse me, he can't play that right away, but he did do why I kind of was like, I don't know about all. I just wanted to make sure I was safe. But the knight move actually doesn't affect my rook at all, so it's kind of me being a 1000 ELO brain not paying attention. My thought was I didn't want to really just rest on c4. My thought was I want to take on c3. I thought I want the pawn. This is a weak pawn. I'm not going to be content on c4. I'm going to be content here. I didn't have to move my rook the whole time, so I liked moving this, doubling up here. I didn't have to move this rook. This rook was where I decided I wanted it. I didn't need to move it twice. Thought getting this piece active was better. So he goes like this. I take. Funny enough, not the best move. I think just taking is probably the better move. Or, I mean, maybe. Oh, no, actually, no. The knight defends that, so taking with the pawn is probably better. I thought about taking with the pawn. I just kind of in my head, I was like, let's trade. I'm up. I feel like this isn't going to be bad. My knight is not doing much. I don't like playing against a knight, so I like to trade him if I can. I definitely didn't want the knight to come here. But taking with the pawn is definitely the way to go. I mean, he basically just hung the knight, right? But I took with my knight. He takes. I went here. Again, the rook is hanging, so I could have played that. I just thought that for some reason, I didn't really want to trade. Like, I liked what I was like, all right, I understand it's hanging, but I thought this was better for some reason, but it's not. It wants to go for, like, pawn takes. You get the rook, and then you get a queen trade, and you're just up a whole piece. Whereas this was weird. He just kind of was like, nope, this is what I want. Like, he, like, legit hung the rook. I was going to take the rook next move, but he could have easily just backed it up and saved it. He didn't have to do all this. I just took, which is not even the best move. Taking with the queen is the best move. That's crazy. Why would I do that? I guess because if you take, I can do this, and you can't stop checkmate. Makes sense. It's not what happened, though. We take the rook, go for just a trade of pieces. I played that. Not the best way to go about things. Putting pressure on this would have been better. Can't take this pawn because the queen defends. But I thought we did pretty well. I brought my rook here to take this pawn. I was like, this is a good move. Everything's defended. He goes for another attack. I thought a little bit here, and I was like, bring the rook over here to attack the queen. Not the best move. The best move is to give the check. I thought about that. That was why I was thinking so hard about it. But I figured he just moves here, and I didn't really know where I was going to go from there. Yeah, my queen's on a dark square, my rook's on a light square. I don't know. I didn't really know what to do there. So I figured he was going to play this move for some reason, just to give checks and be annoying. But I took the pawn, and he decided he didn't want to play anymore and resigned. So we played like a 1500. My endgame was not that. Apparently, this is an endgame. So my endgame wasn't so great, but our opening was 97% accuracy and 89.5% accuracy in the middle game. So 1500. He played like a 1300. He played a great game, except for the rook thing. I don't know why he did that, but thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you tomorrow.